in an ISTP, INFJ relationship, you each have each other's dominant or driver function as each other's 10-year-old or tertiary function. And that means that the way that I've started to see functions, and this has been kind of a big aha for me, is that the descending order of functions diagnoses our relationship to them in terms of certainty. I think we've talked about this in recent podcasts. So that first function is a function that's very certain. In fact, in some ways it's overconfident, right? And Dr. John Beebe's model, he calls it a hero because it's like the right tool for all the jobs. And sometimes, particularly people who lead with functions like introverted thinking or accuracy, we learn that not everybody likes our favorite function. And so we learn to be quiet, but that doesn't mean we don't still think it's the right tool for the job, right? And we have a sense of overcertainty with that function with ourselves, even if not everybody else appreciates this beautiful gift that we have to offer. So when you do communicate this to her, on some level, what you're saying is that I trust that you're going to be able to receive this with the intention that I have, right? I'm honoring you with my truth, right? I don't give my truth to everybody because not everybody receives it well. But you're my intimate, you're my partner. I'm going to give you my radical honesty, and I trust that you're going to be able to understand that this is not an attempt to create discord. This is actually an attempt to create harmony. I'm not a fan of this. If you're not a fan of something that you live with every day, there's like a little bit of heat that gets generated every time you see that thing, right? And I just don't want that heat, right? And so let's do something about this. Now, by the time you get to that third function, the 10-year-old or tertiary function, you're now in a place of uncertainty. And the way that we tend to deal with the uncertainty of that function is that we're seeking approval from the outside world. Right. By the time we get to the fourth function, we're like deeply uncertain. And even when somebody says, you did a good job, we go, yeah, sure I did. But that third function, that's what Dr. John Beebe calls an internal child, right? And what do children do? They seek adult approval in order to feel a sense of certainty, right? Did I do good? Did I do a good job? So if there's I'm noticing something that isn't placed in the place that I would like you to place it, right? This is not what I would have done. It's entirely possible that your wife is receiving this in a place of uncertainty, right? You're calling out something that's true for you. And oftentimes it's calibrative, right? Introverted thinking or accuracy is a very calibrative function. It's always looking to like optimize things and improve upon them. And her choice in your mind wasn't optimized, right? There's a better place to do this. Well, that hits her right in that eternal child part, that 10-year-old or tertiary function, that you're not approving of her choices. And so now she's not getting the head pat that function is looking for. And then that means that she's going to get triggered because now she's uncertain without any outer world approval to buoy up that sense of certainty. And you probably have experienced that in the reverse too.
Yes, that's what I was going to say is the same thing happens in reverse. She'll say something to me and it'll make me feel, I get immediately defensive.
Right.
Even though it's not what she was actually trying to communicate after we sorted it out.
Yeah.
So, it's reciprocal.
Have you considered it from this perspective? Of course I have, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
What's nice about you and your wife is that you're actually sharing all the same functions, just in different order. And so you can you can sympathize with what her functions are looking for, right? Their desires. When we're partnered with somebody who has very different functions from us, that can be a little challenging because it takes a while to figure out what's the heart of this thing. Like, what is this thing looking for? But what's nice is that you know that she's going to be shifting perspectives. You know that she's going to be trying to create, connection and increased morale and getting people's needs met with her extroverted feeling or harmony. You know that she's going to be seeking a sense of competence, optimization, doing things as logically as possible with her introverted thinking or accuracy. And you know that she's going to have a little part of her that wants to feel a sense of max aliveness and effortless flow with her extroverted sensing or sensation. You can sympathize with all of that. But the thing that throws it out of whack is that what makes her feel unsettled and uncertain is very different than yours.